All right, so we're going to be starting the Hangout any minute now. If you're on the live call right now, go ahead and type in the chat that you can see me okay and hear me okay and everything. Obviously, if you've been with us for a while, normally we use GoToWebinar for our webinars, but today we wanted to use a Google Hangout because we're at the Digital Hardware office. And Rob, get rid of that. Mute your mic right there. Okay, and this too. Mute. All right, so sorry about that. My fault. Technical issues there. So we're all in the same room. So basically, what we're going to do is okay, so Brees, if you can see her looking good. Okay, good. You guys can all see us. So like I said, excuse any technical difficulties. And by the way, we're in one of the whiteboard rooms here. You guys want to come over here? Yeah. Did you get that sent off to me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we got Ralph over here, and we got Molly over here.
Hi, guys.
And we all yesterday went and visited the Facebook headquarters here in Austin. And then just now, we actually just spent an hour and a half working with Ryan Dice and then Richard Linder at the end a little bit on some questions about our new funnel for Dominate Web Media. So our meeting ended up running up pretty close to this. But
we got it together though.
Yeah. 2 minutes. So today's call, we're gonna start with video and we're gonna do some whiteboard stuff, and then we're gonna also get into the computer. You're gonna see the screen too when Molly gets into some of the retargeting stuff. So thanks again.
Yeah.
By the way, for
No problem.
So we're in one of the rooms right now. I'll just do a little. It's pretty cool. This is their office in Austin, so that's looking out the window. You got some cool little up over the hills, views. Awesome. And then should I point it out to the out here?
Yeah.
That way?
Okay, yeah. Here.
That's one out.
So grab the computer. I'll grab the camera. So what we got here is we're hanging out at their office for a little bit, and this is their the main area where they hang out. And that's their goal board that they check in with all their numbers and everything. Like in the back is a big, huge funnel mapping room with whiteboards all the way around. This massive, huge meeting room that's about 5 times bigger than this. And then Ryan and some other offices over there. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're heading back to the hotel after this. So cool. So anyway, yesterday we had a good time. I mean, we got invited, thanks to Ralph, on the last call we had with Justin, our Facebook account rep, and he invited us to come down and have breakfast at their, breakfast meeting.
Yeah. And thank you all for inviting me, by the way. They let me tag along, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, do we eat? Do we what? Breakfast? Yeah. At the office?
Right. Hang out. Juice.
Yeah.
Juice.
So they have, basically when you walk in there, it's the whole culture is really cool because they've got food, all these different areas for food, like a food bar, breakfast bar. It's basically
like a cafeteria. Yeah.
So the first thing as soon as
you
you walk in, it's food.
Yeah, they serve their employees 3 meals a day because I think they stagger their schedules. So that was really awesome.
Yeah, and they've got all these different areas they work. It's out like I just showed you there. It's a little bit like that, a lot bigger spaces like that. And then throughout the building, there's hallways and stuff like that, and they've got all these different workspaces too. Like if you want to go hang out at these tables and an area.
Yeah, there's a hammock and full work spots.
So you can move around and stuff, and they don't really have hours. It's pretty cool. But we got to answer quite a few questions. We got to ask quite a few questions, and they answered quite a few of our questions. Some of the things were pretty interesting too. I guess. One of the big takeaways was they really are trying to improve it. They're trying to do everything
definitely trying to educate advertisers more, so that we understand how to use the platform and not break the terms of service. So I felt like that was a big takeaway. So that's good news for all of us.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and I think they're fairly overwhelmed. I mean, just by the fact that our ad manager actually manages 100 accounts.
Right.
And so they're restructuring their whole way in which they divide up sort of separate segments, separate industries. They're having separate ad managers do B2B and others do B2C. So our ad manager actually is changing, so it's a good thing we actually got in.
Yeah.
You guys need her.
Like 2 days after you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, things change fast at Facebook. I think in the personnel and HR department, they probably change even faster.
When I was right, Ralph, when you first invited us,
Like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
dude, we gotta get down.
We can't lose this rep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, great timing. You know, I'm actually going to a different, I'm moving more B2C. And so this is your new ad rep, Stephanie. And so that was pretty interesting. And then we got to walk by like the whole compliance division. There's people literally at monitors looking at ads, like trying to decide.
Saw some like Nickelodeon ads.
That's right.
But they only have 40 ad managers for 2 million
Compliance, right?
advertisers.
Or ad
Or 40 ad
managers.
managers.
Yeah, right.
So there's 40 reps that are, you know, reps for 2 million people. So if you've ever had trouble getting a rep, that's why.
And they're all there.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't realize how important like the hub in Austin
Absolutely.
was. And they've got compliance, the policy team,
Yeah.
and they've got all the ad managers. It's basically 2 levels.
So it's
Plenty of place to expand.
Yes.
the only one in North America, I'd say.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Those 2 things.
Yeah.
Which is interesting too. So they're definitely looking for feedback on us. He said, you know, the people that are building like the Power Editor and all those types of things, they're engineers. They want feedback from us. So we want feedback from you guys. Whenever you see like a glitch, not like a glitch of like the Power Editor working slow, they don't, I mean, they know that happens and they know that they're trying to improve it. But
I
like,
actually joked about that too.
Yeah.
So
You're
you guys
you
want the
it's
Power Editor.
cheating.
I'm like, oh yeah.
yeah, exactly. But like when it comes to functionality or improved features and stuff like that, they want to hear from us. So our new ad rep, Stephanie, she's more green. She's newer, definitely newer than Justin. And so she's looking for feedback from us, like good feedback, like, hey, cool if you could do this. You know, we talked about some of the things like with overlaying that they could be doing better. And he did talk about a new feature that's just rolled out. A lot of ad accounts don't have this in there yet, but and it was actually interest-based exclusion. So right now you can do exclusion inside of
They
it.
call it something. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, right now you can exclude. Right, they did call something weird. Basically, like in the audiences, so you can say I want to target this.
Flexible target.
Yeah, I want to target this custom audience. You know, all website visitors, and I want to exclude thank you page visitors, right? So it's basically targeting. But you can't do that inside the interests. What they're going to add, what they just added, is called flexible targeting, where you can target somebody that likes Tony Robbins but does not like Brendan Burchard, for example. And so, you know, right now you can only do that with your.
I think a good example he had was if you're trying to find people who like football and you targeted ESPN, you could say, you know, I want to target ESPN but exclude basketball. So you can get a little bit more specific, but for scale, it allows you to sort of hit those broader interests while excluding stuff that doesn't matter.
Yep.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, like the Venn diagram.
Absolutely.
So like that middle part, which is really awesome.
And actually, while we're on that exclusion topic, he gave us a great tip a while ago, about a month or 2 ago, on using this exclusion-based targeting with your custom audiences, your lookalike audiences, actually. So like, we're talking about how, hey, if you have a 1% lookalike audience, you could do something where you create a 1% lookalike audience, but you also create a 2% lookalike audience.
I've never done that before.
And then you're including the 2%, but you're excluding the 1%. Now, for those of you that are like confused on that, basically what that means is, let's say you want to create a lookalike audience based on your buyers. Okay. So when you create your lookalike audience, we got trainings in the members area on how to do this. Okay. But basically, you can select that custom audience. Let's say it's your buyers, or let's say it's your email list, and then they have a little scale. You select like United States, and then they have a little scale, and you can select 5 million all the way up to 25 million in the U.S. And so if you select the 5 million, which is the first part of that scale, they call that 1%. If you go up a little bit, it's like, actually it's 2.5, sorry. It's 2.5 million is the first part of that. And then if you go up one notch, it's 5 million, okay? And that would be at 2%. So you slide it right in the middle, like around like 10 or 11 million, that's gonna be around 5%. So basically it's just more, it gets broader the higher percentage it goes. But those are the types of things that you can do, and especially like if you're in a local area where you want to target fairly broad, and you want to geo-target it to like Seattle area, but you want to just only target your lookalike audience, you can do 2% minus 1%. Those types of things that you can do. So,
Another one, which I thought was really cool for B2B people, is you could actually, there's going to be new targeting that's going to come in on companies specific to sales volume.
Yes.
Like you can go like 1 million to 2 million. We're not exactly sure, what the grade is going to be or what the sort of level is going to be, but it's going to be businesses that have certain percentages or certain sales volume. So if you're a consultant that's targeting companies between 1 and 5 million, that's something that's coming as well. The 3 big data companies actually do have that. They just haven't integrated into the platform though. So that's huge.
Yes.
That's going to be a real biggie.
Yep. So the big data companies where we get these offline spending habits, net income targeting, income-based targeting, Data Logic, Epsilon, and Inspiron, what they're called. Basically, he said they've got more. They've got better data. So instead of just targeting somebody who has a net worth of $1 million, you can actually target somebody that has a business with 10 to 100 employees. I don't know the specifics, but that is actually available now. They have to add it to our account. So he told us he actually would, which is really cool. So as far as when it will be available to you and everybody else, I don't know, but it's coming, and that's a big deal.
Right. Especially if you're B2B, absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Awesome.
So let's see here. So I would say as far as the suggestions, just bring those to the Facebook group because they want us. We have to email them. They can't really just take emails from anybody. So they have to actually come from us. So if you guys got good feedback on what would make the platform better, just bring it to the Facebook group. Really. We can start off.
Thread.
Yeah. So we'll start a thread. So let's see here. That was the cross targeting function that we had before. It's different though. It's a little bit different, I think, than we've ever had before, as far as the
exclusion.
Yeah.
Interest targeting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's slightly different. You could do that before. You could exclude it from one section of the ad manager to another, kind of, but not really within interests. So it's just slightly different. Why they don't make all this available immediately, I don't know.
I think they just roll it in over time.
I think they roll it in and see how people, the feedback and consumption, and then start to roll it out to other accounts.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the ad, everyone wants an ad manager, even if you're brand new. I think that's something that they realize that they need that resource. So, it's right now, it's fairly exclusive with 40 of them and 100 each. So that's not that many. But they are going to be doing something for, if you're like an agency specifically, they're going to have account managers specifically for agencies, which for us was great news to hear because we basically have an ad wrap for individual clients, but then they tend to not really pay attention to the other ones that we're managing. They're only really interested in those 1 or 2. So I think slowly but surely they're trying to figure it out, and it takes some time to do it.
And then they rolled out that resource yesterday. Yeah. I shared that with the digital marketer people, and it's Facebook. We can write it here.
Yeah. Yes.
Facebook.com/blueprint.
So, yeah.
So yeah, that's a resource, and I got in last night. It's cool. It's kind of basic,
2
but
days ago, right? You rolled it out.
Yeah.
The day before yesterday.
Right. 2 days ago.
Brand new within 2 days. The training.
So this is Facebook's first crack at actually training advertisers, right?
Yeah,
so it's kind of basic, but if they do talk about direct response, their case studies, all these little, if you have any questions about Power Editor, there was a cool little training in there about Power Editor. So definitely check this out. Again, it's kind of basic, but it's really cool that Facebook's taking that, first step to start to educate advertisers further. And I think it'll be a great resource for everybody. So definitely check that out.
One thing that was pretty interesting, and keep this in mind when you're frustrated and everything with Facebook, walking around that building inside of there was like, looking around, we're talking about a lot of fresh graduates, smart people that went to, MBAs, went to Harvard and stuff like that. You and Justin have talked about how cool it is to be working with some of the smartest minds in the world. But it's young. I mean, there's a lot of young people, like even in the compliance division, we're talking about, I felt like I was walking into like a, college bar because there's so many young 20-year-olds, so like some of the decisions that are made frustrating maybe, and that's the reason I think. So you have to just realize that. That's all I can say, I guess.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we came away with as something that I don't think is necessarily a positive, because I mean, if you've got, nothing wrong with anybody who's, 23, 24, 25, but I mean, if you are brand new and, in the digital marketing space or just in advertising online in general, you might broad categorize everybody who's in coaching or as make money or work at home or, something like that. So there is that seasoning effect. I mean, you've got guys in there. I mean, we saw the Nickelodeon ad. I wonder if that was approved or not.
I know.
But as we walked by, it's a young group. So, I think, with a lot of the questions that we had around, that thing we danced around quite a bit.
Yeah, the account banning.
The account banning, it wasn't exactly the right time to bring it up, because I think it was a fairly positive conversation. It definitely seems like those two areas of Facebook are very separate.
I think the best thing you can do too is really think about, how does my account look? Run some ads for branding. He talks about video ads. Like, we're gonna shoot a what is digital marketer ad. We'll throw $30 at it a day, but just run it to say, hey, this is who digital marketer is. These are the people. This is what we're about. To educate, we run a ton of ads to content that provide value. So, if someone got in your account, would they think that you were just there to really hammer people with offers? So I think that's a great way to look at it. And, they're looking for companies with good integrity and advertisers that are trying to get value. So as long as you do that, I think that you play it safe.
If you've got a new account, I would say, run traffic to blog posts. The last members webinar, I talked about this and showed how to add a lot of call to actions throughout a blog post. And one of my blog posts is getting 21% opt-in rate just on the blog.
That's awesome. And it's so cheap to send it to content.
And they love that. And then he talked about video, which I was excited because it's my favorite thing. Which is what I talked about on the last webinar too, is how to use videos and video testimonials. He said exactly what we talked about 2 weeks ago on the webinar. He said, we were talking about a client, and he's like, what is working best right now is using a story from a customer and putting that as a video ad in the newsfeed. Does that sound familiar? We were on the last webinar 2 weeks ago.
He talks about that at Traffic and Conversion Summit.
That's what I talked about at their event from my talk. So basically, this stuff, and he's seeing it with millions of people out there. So it's that third party credibility, third party, somebody else saying something good about you, and then the video ads get so much. They don't get the negative feedback. They get a lot more shares. So your relativity score goes up. You just have to realize that you're going to pay every time somebody clicks on that or comments or something like that. So there's going to be some slippage as far as paying for a click compared to if they click through to your website. But that's what they want. So yeah. So should we get what else? Do you guys have any other?
That covered most of it. I mean, there was it was a positive meeting, so we didn't want to
definitely,
and we're sort of in transition, but it's good that our ad rep is going to be very close, to who our ad rep is now going to be. So that's really helpful. But I mean, I think they're trying to do the right thing in order to.
They're moving it. They're growing. They're maturing as a company, definitely.
Yeah, it's just not happening fast enough, I think, for all of us because we're impatient.
We're marketers
right now.
But
so stick with it, but definitely listen to this kind of advice because I mean, the content, the videos, and all that sort of stuff. If you're not doing that, you should be doing it.
And Bree just made a great comment. Personally, you were on the last call with her, the last 2 calls. Bree from Betty Rocker, who's been on a couple of our webinars and done some awesome training videos, said she's getting 2 and 3 cent clicks 2 and 3 cent clicks to a blog post. She's sending from Facebook traffic, Facebook ads. It's freaking ridiculous. And my sales for the product, my sales for the product I suggest at the bottom of the post have been increasing so much. So like Ralph was like, shoot, we don't even need a lead magnet. We're targeting people right to your products and people will click through. And when I was at the Silver Circle Mastermind, and the day before I spoke at James Schrenko's event in Australia 3 weeks ago, one of the guys is in the fitness space, And Bree, I will find his URL and send it to you. Actually, so reminds me. Basically, he doesn't use lead magnets anymore. All he does is drive traffic to blog posts. He's in fitness and weight loss, and he doesn't get his account banned. He drives them to blog posts, just like basically the format that I showed you on the last webinar. And at the bottom of his post, he's got a link that takes you to his product page, which is like a tripwire type of offer. And he's getting 5% sales conversions on people that click that link at the bottom of his post. But he's getting 20% opt-in rate for people that land on that post also by the sidebar ad and inside of his post lead magnet stuff. So he's getting leads, but he's not sending traffic to a lead magnet at all, not even retargeting them to a lead magnet. He's only going to a blog, and then he's retargeting to say, I don't even know if it's retargeting to sales, just pretty much.
He could follow up via email and say whatever he wants.
Exactly. So this stuff works, and it's important. And do you have to create 100 pieces of content? No, 1 or 2 good ones starting out is what you need.
Yeah,
so,
good killer and lots of calls to action.
Yeah.
I mean, not, exit pops and all that other sort of stuff that you don't want sending that, straight to your traffic in your blog. But content really, I mean, if you think about the user experience, I mean, it is all about the user experience. Right. You typically can't go from Facebook right to an offer to sell. Yeah. But I mean, we've seen exceptions to that. But the point is that, exactly like what you wrote about and you talked about at TNC, is, send them to a blog post, engage them.
Right.
Well,
give them value, solve what does your market, what would really interest them. We all read, we're all interested in something. Right. So if you can really hit a pain point and interest them with the content, they're going to trust you. You're an authority to them.
It's true.
And then when you ask them for something later, it's not so cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is Optimonk. It's OPTIMONK. It's a software, and it's actually an overlay, so it's not an exit pop. It's the kind of thing you see when you move your mouse up to close out of the browser, and there's the pop-up there. That is actually okay with Facebook, and you'll see on the Digital Marketer website on Tuesday. All of ours are going to go live, and it's really cool because based off of what kind of blog post you're reading, so say you're reading about Facebook ads, you're going to see an offer for a Facebook ad template. So it's allowing us to segment these exit pops, but they're not really exit pops because they can still leave the page without touching the exit pop. It's more of an overlay. So it's Facebook compliant, and we're able to make these offers on page. So we'll let you guys know. I asked him specifically. I was like, hey, I was like, is this okay? So we'll let you guys know definitely how that works. But it's a great way to bump conversions on the content, definitely.
Cool. So we're already 25 minutes in. So let's should we get right into the retargeting stuff?
Absolutely.
Now, you actually sent me slides, didn't you?
Yep.
So
it'll probably be easier to just sit down and.
Yeah, we're doing camera stuff. So, yeah, if you want, let's see here. While I'm pulling this up, Ralph, do you want to cover, maybe see if you see any good questions or anything like that? And then I'll pull this up here. We can cover.
Molly is okay.
Yeah. Actually, is there anything that you need to kind of use on the whiteboard?
Well, I have
right
graphics in here that should work. I sent it to your.
Yeah, it's not letting me pull up Gmail for some reason. It's like loading.
Maybe try another.
Are we good on the? You guys, we're good on the. This is weird. Let's see, here's a Firefox thing or what?
Oh, what's the name of the software? Can you write it on the whiteboard?
Yes.
Molly, good.
I put it in the chat, but it didn't seem to go. Hopefully we didn't lose people. My chat thing didn't work either. Okay, you're still seeing me? Okay, I don't know why I can't load.
You guys know this is live.
Server not found. Gmail server not found. That's weird, really weird. Yeah. Okay, so I'm logging into a different Gmail for the actual thing, so not my normal one because of we're using a different account. That's just okay. We try Firefox. Oh, you're a panelist too. Should be, but.
I can email it to you.
Or maybe put the. How come I this is I've never seen this before. I can't pull up like a website in a different browser. Server not found. But you guys are. Crazy. So Ralph, if you can text it to me, is it a Dropbox link?
Yes, it is.
See if I can. It'll pull up on my texter here. Text it to me from your computer, and then I can't pull up Gmail or anything on. Let's just try pulling on Google. I've got to use another browser because I'm logged into a different Gmail account for the actual Hangout, and I can't. What? Okay. Shoot. Hey, no, I didn't go through on here. Okay, that's weird. Signed in. What else did we do? Facebook message it to me because Firefox seems to be working. This is the first. Ralph, you want to hit on anything from the meeting yesterday to keep over here?
I mean, the big thing that a lot of people are commenting on is the blog post idea, and not necessarily. I think Bree's perfect example of this is that when you are, I mean, I think as marketers, we're all really prone to getting the lead and getting them to our tripwire and then getting them to our core offer sort of in a very logical fashion, like 1, 2, 3 in that step. And I think, you know, the way that Facebook is going is that you can do 2 things to basically get somebody's attention so that you can either market to them in a different way or hit them with your offer. And that's through getting fans, which is the first thing, through engaging content. And then secondly, through really engaging good blog posts. Because if you have that website custom audience pixel, or code, really, it's not a conversion pixel, but it's code on your site, site-wide, they will be captured. So, you know, that cost per pixel is as important now as, you know, what used to be sort of like a cost per lead. So that's definitely something that is a big learning, because not only is it congruent with the way that Facebook wants the experience to be, don't send everybody to a landing page with no content and really no value. You send them to something that has high value, capture them through retargeting pixel, or, you know, if they become a fan, you can then create an ad set specific around those 2 things. So maybe, you know, for your website custom audiences, you can do all kinds of stuff there, which we're going to be talking about a little bit here, but that's really, really important. So it depends on your niche, but you might want to really consider, how important is getting that lead to me? Can I sell people based upon engaging them with free content and then selling them an offer after the fact through retargeting and sort of bypassing the lead entirely? So something that, you know, we've talked with clients about, and, you know, even Justin yesterday was really talking about that is really, really important. So you can do it with blog posts, you can do it with video, and for us, for all our client accounts that are using video in the news feed, I mean, we see the highest relevance scores for newsfeed video ads, whether it's desktop, whether it's mobile, you know, even on Sidebar. Sidebar seems to be coming back in a lot of our client accounts, which is, you know, something we sort of forgot about, you know, and started doing sort of the last couple of months. But engaging your audience with content first and capturing your lead through pixeling them through a website custom audience. And you're going to find that if the content is really engaging and really good, then that cost per pixel or cost per getting them into your world, into your invisible list, is going to be fairly cheap. So video, blog posts, all that sort of stuff. It's not like you need to write a blog post every single day. You know, really good, killer piece of content. Get them on your site and retarget them. Talking about shortly. We have our
Slides cool.
slides.
Not yet. I've got the link, but I won't download not restart the meeting for anything to work. It's
Or
got all
I
my.
could go through, kind of switch it up and go through the pixel process stuff.
Yeah.
And do it on the work for you guys.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll have to either give somebody else raw. The none of the browsers work. Oh, so I'm starting to get internet now because now those texts are coming through. So let's try it again. Now it seems to be working, but we'll see. Maybe not. Yep, now it's working. Cool.
Live television.
Yeah, it's just like it was crazy. Nothing. I couldn't do anything. Come on, it's almost downloaded. There you go.
All right.
Okay. Come on, 6% edits. Yours is doing that too now. They just crashed Ralph's computer. Get webinar, hangout. His computer just totally crashed.
You can pixel someone from Facebook, you can pixel someone from Twitter, SiteScout, Google. So pretty much any ad platform is going to let you pixel someone so that you can talk to them again in the future. And so you might think, why do I want to spend money, pixeling someone? Why don't I just want to go for the email address? And we definitely want to go for the email address. Email is a bit more sustainable. You kind of own that unless they, of course, opt out. Pixels last for up to 6 months, at least on Facebook they do. So if someone is in a pixeled audience for 6 months and they still haven't engaged with you, it's probably time for them to leave the audience anyway. So don't worry about, hey, I only have these people for 6 months. If they continue to engage with you and go back to your site, they'll absolutely stay in your audience. But really why this is important is, advertising is becoming so much more expensive. Even on Facebook, you see the cost per click really rising. Like we said, there were 2 million advertisers on Facebook. So, lots of competition. So this is only going to continue to rise, right? Costs will only continue to rise. So, especially at Digital Marketer, we really feel like the more people that you're able to pixel now, the people who, really spend their time pixeling these audiences and continuing to engage with them, they're going to win. They're going to have more owned media. When you're ready to roll out an offer, or you're ready to sell something, you're going to have that pixeled audience to talk to run ads to. So I just want to show you our strategy for doing so and some proof points too. So I want to show you, number one, the sort of old method that we used to use, that we still use, and sort of the new cost per pixel model, and how they're actually the same price, but we're building these audiences.
So
Is everything good, guys?
Probably should use the regular, because I think the internet, one connect to is too slow.
Oh, no, they're both on the same ones. That we've had some trouble, but I'm so sorry.
Okay, it's working now.
Okay, cool. Okay guys, so this is kind of our older method, right? And I'm not gonna write out a full funnel, but just to show you, we were sending cold traffic directly to the lead capture page. So, we were sending them from an ad on Facebook that says, hey, do you wanna learn, you wanna drive more leads and sales from Facebook? Click here to download our proven Facebook ad templates today. And we were sending them right to this lead capture page to ask for their email address. Of course, on the next page, we were making them a low dollar, $7 offer about Facebook ads. So that was the next page that they were hitting. So we still do this, by the way. This is absolutely still okay as long as your lead capture page has lots of information on it. You want to make sure that people know what's happening when they go from the ad to the lead capture page. I can't tell you 100% that Facebook's not going to get upset about it, but we found that when you have really rich bullet points and people really understand what they're going to get when they opt in, this is still okay. Definitely have your terms of service linked on the bottom and stuff like that to make sure that they realize you're a legitimate business. But for this specific example, the Facebook ad templates that I was talking about, so we were sending right to the lead capture page and we had a 32% conversion rate. So 32% of the people that were hitting this lead capture page were opting in. So that was $1.71 cost per lead. It was costing us $1.71 to generate a lead here for this funnel. From here, we had a 6.6% conversion rate on the Tripwire sales page. So this was for a $7 offer, which again was about Facebook ads. So I started to think, what if we add, a step to the top of the funnel? So instead of sending the cold traffic directly to the lead capture page, we added a piece of content. So what's really important about the content, like we talked about earlier, use the content to qualify the audience. So if you're gonna buy something on how to run Facebook ads, and this was a little bit of an advanced sort of step-by-step guide, I was starting to think, I'm not gonna do 7 steps to running Facebook ads. I want to get kind of higher level people into this funnel who would really be interested in running traffic. So this piece of content was about Facebook pixels. So, if you run any kind of Facebook ads or you're really interested in media buying, that you're definitely going to be interested in pixels, especially Facebook pixels. They're a little bit confusing. There are 2 different kinds. So this piece of content was about Facebook pixels. So this is where I ran all of the traffic. And we were building a website custom audience and Google audience and Site Scout audience, but we were building this audience of people that we knew were interested in Facebook ads. So from here, we went to the lead capture page. So all through using website custom audiences and the dynamic retargeting, we were sending people who hit this content page to the same lead capture page for Facebook ad templates. So from the pixeled audience, which was really, really surprising and cool, we had a 58% conversion rate on this page. So 32% to cold traffic, 58% right here. We still were paying $1.71 to acquire the lead, but this was a 58% higher conversion rate. The reason that we were paying $1.71 to acquire the lead is because we did have to pay about 30 to 50 cents right here to pixel that person and get them to our site. That's really high. Our market is competitive, and clicks to our website cost us a little bit more than, say, Breeze getting clicks to our website for 3 to 5 cents. That's incredible. Why would you not send all of your traffic here to pixel these people? Especially when you know that this pixeled warm audience who went to your website and you establish yourself as an authority, they got value from you, they converted at 58%, where the cold audience here converted at 32%. So you guys see how big of a difference this is. It's still costing us the same amount for cost per lead, but this is a much more qualified lead here. And you've done right by them. You've established value. But where it really got awesome was when we went to the next step. So we went to this $7 offer.
Oh, she was 2 to 3 cents, she said, LOL.
Oh, 2 to 3, sorry, Ray. I cut you by a cent. Where it really got cool was when we retargeted from here to the Tripwire sales page. Well, we didn't retarget. The pixel people opted in right here on the lead capture page, and they went to the Tripwire sales page. Guess what the conversion rate was here? 9.1%. So this is when money starts to come into play, guys, right? This is when they're actually buy. We were able to prove here the cold traffic converted at 6.6%. The people who had been pixeled converted at 9.1%. 9.1% of the pixeled traffic bought right here on the Tripwire sales page. So obviously really powerful. And this is when I started to realize, this is when I went to my boss and said, hey, like we have something here. We're not only making more money, we're getting higher conversion rates through the funnel, but we're building these audiences, right? And I'm not saying that you couldn't pixel these people that hit the lead capture page from cold traffic. Of course you can, but it's not as qualified of traffic, right? A lot of these people are gonna hop on this lead capture page and run as soon as they see that you're asking for an email address. The people that are hitting your content, they're getting value from you. They're gonna read, they're gonna watch a video, they're going to be interested in what you have to say. And definitely don't let this piece of content trip you up. It shouldn't be a big barrier to entry. You can get into lead pages and they have a native advertising page. Charles Kirkland created it. You can go into lead pages and create a piece of content standalone. You don't even have to have a website, which is awesome. We have a lot of resources on how to create content, even if you're not a writer. You can always curate content from other people as long as you reference back and you give them acknowledgement for what they're doing. You could create a quick video and pop it on a page with some text below and send traffic there to educate people. You could use an infographic. There's tons of different things. You could take a YouTube video, embed it onto a page, write a little bit about it, and you're still giving those people value, right? So definitely don't let, this content page freak you out. And as you start to grow, as you start to run more traffic, if you have a blog and you start to add more content, you can segment all of your content. That's what we do. So we know that at Digital Marketer, we have people interested in Facebook advertising. We have people interested in blogging, AdWords, YouTube, funnels. So we've really laid out, these are the different segments of the business. And so now we have content that is written around all of these different segments. So for example, if you were in fitness, right? Or say you had a recipe site, maybe you could split it in people interested in vegetarian, people interested in vegan, people interested in, just different kinds of recipes. Think about a blog. When you click down on the menu, how, there are categories. Every blog can have different categories. But this is the way you can segment people visiting your content and make them more relevant offers. So the people that visit our blog posts about Facebook advertising, we're gonna show them this lead magnet about Facebook ad templates. The people that visit content about blogging, we're gonna show them our lead magnet on 212 blog post ideas. And we have an offer for these different segments. And it's all done through website custom audiences and retargeting. And really this model, the reason it was so cool is because we were able to take this idea off of our website and actually run cold traffic this way. So we know that we can send cold traffic, whether this traffic's from AdWords, from Facebook, from Twitter. We run cold traffic to our content from YouTube. We're just trying to find where are these people that are interested, and you're able to reach a broader market because it's content. You establish value, and then they are going to be a much more qualified buyer and customer for you, because you ask them to go to coffee, and then you ask them on a date, and you allow this relationship to progress versus saying, hey, you want to get married, do you want to have kids? We allowed this relationship to progress, and it's paying off big time for our business. So that's pretty much what I had. If you guys want to add, or if you have questions.
Real quick.
Sorry I didn't have my slides. This was kind of last minute, we kind of just did it.
Right,
so.
yeah. But it's still downloading, actually. And she wasn't able to log in from her computer. But
sorry, guys.
There's on the left side of your panel somewhere, there's actually a chat feature. If you don't know that, if you've never been on there, you have to enable the chat if you want to ask questions. I know a lot of people are in there asking questions, but some of you guys might not know that. So
we want to get a close-up of that right there, just
absolutely.
In case people can.
And I have a blog post outlining all of this with way prettier graphics than this. We can pop it in the chat box.
Sure.
I can just Facebook message it to you.
A little bit, yeah.
It's Keith's fault, Yanko says. It's always my fault, unless I'm blaming Ralph for something.
It's not. Even then, it's your fault.
But is there any specific questions about technical stuff, like with retargeting? You want to talk about the dynamic retargeting?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely. So, Keith, I sent you that link on Facebook. So if you guys want graphics on this and an explanation, he's going to pop that in there.
Yeah, and it's not downloading all the way for some reason. It's been trying for like 15 minutes.
Oh, I sent you a new Facebook message. It's just a blog post.
Oh, okay, cool. And
Posted a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's not coming through yet either. It's like my whole computer got frozen. It's weird. Worked for like a minute. Can't go to any other websites. Just web page.
Okay, guys. So this is pretty tactical, but we call this full funnel retargeting. So it's basically how to use Facebook website custom audiences to set up retargeting for your funnel on autopilot. So I don't know if you've ever uploaded email addresses as data custom audiences. We used to do that a lot because I would want to retarget through the funnel. So I would upload a list of people who opted in, and then a list of people who bought the tripwire. And then I would say, I want these people minus these people. And it was such a hassle, right? It only updated when I decided I was gonna upload it. Not all the email addresses matched up. It was just messy. So when Facebook added website custom audiences, it really changed this game for us because it allowed us to set up this funnel retargeting on autopilot. So for example, if someone does hit content, or someone does hit the lead magnet, wherever they're coming through, I can say, I want to show an ad to people who visited this page, right?
And then real quick, Molly, while you're doing that, right after you do that, I'm gonna have you message that on Facebook, that link to Ralph, and then I'll have him put it in the chat here.
Perfect.
On his computer.
Perfect.
Okay.
If you go on the blog, to the digital marketer blog, I think it's 5 or 6 back.
Okay.
Okay, so here are the retargeting ads. So we would go into Facebook website custom audiences. You would pull the end of the URL. So say this is, digitalmarketer.com/FB. So I would pull this /FB. I would put that into my website custom audience when I'm setting it up. And I would say, I want people who hit this page minus say this is dm.com/lead magnet minus lead magnet. So what this is telling Facebook is, I want to run an ad to people who hit this page but didn't hit this page. So why would you want to do that? Well, maybe they hit the content page and something happened and they had to stop reading. A lot of times with retargeting, people just need to be reminded of the next action to take, right? Don't think of retargeting necessarily as hassling someone. We don't like to think of it as they said no, it's just they weren't able to take the action. So all these ads say, the ad copy says, did life get in the way, ? You forgot to take advantage of this offer, ? We use that for every one of our retargeting ads because you're not acknowledging that they said no. You're just saying, hey, you forgot to do this. Do you want to do it, right? So this ad is set up so that Facebook is always changing the audiences. So if you were to come back here, or you were to come back here and visit this page, you would be removed from this audience. So no more uploading email addresses, no more crazy stuff. This audience is always updating through Facebook, and this ad is running to people who hit this page but didn't hit this page. So same idea throughout the funnel, right guys? So this ad would run to people who opted in but didn't buy the tripwire. So we would tell website custom audiences, we want this URL, say this is DM tripwire. So here we want people who hit this lead magnet page but didn't hit the tripwire page. So this ad would say, hey, you forgot to take advantage of this deal. Did life get in the way? You forgot to take advantage of this deal. We've seen about a 49% increase in our sales just using this method to send people back to the tripwire, right? That's incredible. Retargeting always, it's an afterthought, right? People are like, oh, I'll just add that on later. No, it's so powerful, especially with the online buying cycle now. There are so many options for buying online. There's so many brands online. People really do need time to get to know you, the content, give you their email address, maybe consume the lead magnet, build a little bit of trust. And then if you're there every once in a while in the newsfeed saying, hey, you forgot to take advantage of this deal, they're really likely to come back and buy. So I use this all the way through the funnel to the thank you page for every one of our funnels. These ads always look similar, but a little different to the ads that I'm running to either of these pages because you want them to recognize you, but you also don't want them to think it was the same ad. So that's very important too. But really the coolest part for me is that these are dynamic. You don't have to upload email addresses. You're reaching a lot more of that audience. And this is really sales on autopilot using Facebook dynamic retargeting. So I can give another link to more information on this.
I've got a good question. You asked that first.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Actually, more for me than for anybody else.
Yeah.
Do you ever, you're doing this in a very logical sequence.
Right.
Okay, so content, they didn't opt in. Maybe somebody actually opts in or sees this, but maybe they don't want this.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone right to here with that?
Right. So we haven't with paid traffic, but our email marketing system does that. So if they're not interested in this, we will make them another offer. But I haven't done this with paid traffic, but we should definitely try.
Yeah, because we're actually seeing it in some of our client accounts because their content is so good.
Right. They're ready to buy, maybe. Yeah.
But, and other people actually who do this sort of thing as well. I mean, with her, it's just totally ninja. But why worry about this middle process?
Right.
If you can engage them here.
Absolutely.
Or even if you can grab another fan and then hit another fan, hit, a fan ad set up here.
Absolutely.
To maybe that offer.
Definitely.
Or to that one.
Right.
So, I mean, through this, you're probably going to get fans in.
Right. And that's what's important, guys, too, with all of this, running traffic at all. You have to give it time. You're running traffic to here or here. People are getting to know you. we're definitely still direct response, but we have to keep in mind it might take 60 to 90 days to see an ROI on spend, but that's okay because you're getting yourself out there. That's
Tell 'em
all.
about Dave.
That's all you're paying for.
Ralph, tell them about Dave Levinsky, the 11 sales.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I mean, there is a branding element to this whole thing. We have a client that they sell a very high-end product, software product. And, you know, their whole cycle is to get appointments for their salespeople right off Facebook. And we've been testing a lot of different ideas, a lot of different things. And some have worked, some haven't. To his credit, he continues to evolve and take our advice, and because he realizes that his customers are there on Facebook. One of the things that we didn't really anticipate is that even though we've been running ads for a while, we've gotten appointments and we've gotten sales, some of those people who actually became clients when they did a live event.
Well, he did a booth.
He did a booth. Yeah, he did a booth with you guys. Is that they all came up and said, well, geez, I saw your ad on Facebook.
Right.
So.
And they signed up.
And he got a number of clients,
Absolutely.
double-digit clients there. I mean, I think we'll have to double check it, but he did tell me that it was a significant amount. It's not, I mean, it's not necessarily, that's not the effect that you sort of think about sometimes with this, but it is significant.
Stand closer to her because it tries to, it keeps trying to focus on that.
And to the same idea there, we'll see that people opt in for 2 to 3 of our lead magnets before they buy sometimes. So the more traffic we've run, the more we've seen. I'll go in and see, how many people have opted into all 4 of these lead magnets, and then they have like 1 tripwire that they've purchased. Yeah. So they're opting in. Some people need longer, right? Like that's just the nature of people. So, all of this traffic is still conceptual. It's just you're paying to get in front of people. How are you gonna best optimize and make the most of it for your business?
Okay, I got a couple questions, guys.
Cool.
Okay, so one of them is from Dustin here, from Molly. For this retargeting funnel stuff, do you need to set up a different custom audience for each step of the funnel, and then exclude audiences for each step of the funnel?
Absolutely. So I have everything labeled. So this would be Facebook ad funnel dash, hit the content page, hit the lead magnet page. And so this one is including this including this URL, excluding this URL, but this is one audience. So you're absolutely right.
Yep. So, okay, cool. So basically, and the thing is one website custom audience pixel throughout your site. If it's a blog like WordPress, you're going to put your code one time, not on every page, one time.
And if you visit that cost per pixel blog post, there are calls to action in there for a pixel guide. So I created a guide with graphics that are like, this is where the pixel goes, this is where the website custom audience pixel goes, because that is like, it confuses me.
Yep, exactly. So, and then if you're using like lead pages or ClickFunnels or something like that, you're going to need to put the code on all pages because it's like a different subdomain.
Right.
And then the conversion pixel is a different pixel. That one needs to be different. A different pixel for each conversion goal, whether it's a leader.
And that doesn't have to do with retargeting, so that's more tracking and optimization.
They call it a pixel, but it's a code like a Google.
Yeah.
They just try to confuse you.
Right.
Sorry, Facebook.
Yeah. All right, got another one here.
Yeah.
I'm sure Zuckerberg is on this.
So, what kind of ad in Facebook to direct people to what kind of ad in Facebook to direct people to a blog post? Just text, an image, or would you put a short video there with a little text? That's a good question.
You guys might. For us, if you go to the Digital Marketer Facebook page, that's what we run the content. So it's just an image that has a quote and a cool image and really text heavy. We want it to say this is really a lot that you're gonna get.
So that's a great question. So you have to realize the psychology here. The reason why you would run a video ad in the first place is to pre-frame somebody, right? To get that trust, credibility, authority, depending on what your video does. And so by the time they get to your page where they do have to take an action, if your goal is for them to take some sort of action like opt in or maybe even buy a product, then a video can be really good. Now, if all of your offering is content, you're just going to the blog and they don't have to actually do anything to consume that. They don't have to opt in, it's non-gated. Then it's probably no reason to use like a video for that, because the blog is creating goodwill. Okay, if you're running a video, that's to create goodwill. So when they get to that page where they're required to take an action with you, they're already warmed up and there's trust built. So I would not use a video if I was taking them to a blog post.
I would look at like what BuzzFeed does. Look at BuzzFeed's Facebook posts. Everyone knows those are content. We try to mimic that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
And clearly, just one last thing too, is in your content, make sure you tell them in your actual post itself, tell them it's a blog post.
Yep.
I mean, identify it as such. It lowers their defenses because they're not sure what's going to happen when they click that image. But if you put blog or blog post,
they lower their guard. They know it's sponsored, but they're going to click on it. You get better relativity scores that way. So another great comment by Yanko is, I've got a client with video testimonial on a blog post sent directly to a squeeze page. I lost it, so hold on. So I have a client with video testimonial on blog post sent directly to a squeeze page with really high quality content, with privacy, of course, etc. No, with a pricey course, so it's an expensive course, and it's working great. By the way, the video testimonial interview is inside Facebook and is really quality content. It's been shared a lot. Kind of confused on that a little bit on a comment. If you kind of inside Facebook Ads University or inside Facebook, I'm confused on that a little bit. But we'll get that in a second. So
yeah, clarify that.
Yeah,
one, that sounds pretty good.
Do you still run some content to buyers as you do to people who are trying to turn into leads? Yeah, why not? But typically, probably not as much, I guess. You're talking about retargeting to people that have already bought to content.
Maybe
If it's
the only time I would retarget to content would be if you have like
a different
email
product.
or like email lists or emails that haven't engaged in a while. It might be good to upload them and sort of retarget them with content to get them to know you.
Yes.
Or yeah, if you have a product that's kind of maybe a product line extension, so you're going to be talking about a new topic outside of what you normally talk about.
Okay.
Like when we rolled out an email marketing course, we kind of started rolling out some email content and running that around just so people weren't surprised when they saw that we had an email course.
I mean, those unto themselves, customer lists unto themselves are great for lookalike audiences.
Absolutely.
True.
Find more people like the people that buy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those are your, as far as custom audiences that you can turn into a lookalike audience, which could be another whole hangout, I think. That's a very good lookalike audience. Because don't you want more people that buy your stuff?
Yes.
You upload it, and then you create a lookalike audience, 1%, 2%, depending on what country you're in. And then you can send traffic directly to those folks, especially your age, demographics, gender, whatever it happens to be.
A cool trick I found with lookalike audiences was for the 212 blog post funnel I was talking about. So we were trying to reach bloggers, and I created a lookalike audience of people who opted in, and it wasn't doing very well. It was about 2 million people. And so I paired it with the interest of blogging, which had like 15 million people in it. It was a really big interest. That brought the audience size down to about 800,000, which was great. So I just paired that lookalike audience with something really broad. So for example, with Facebook ad templates, when I scaled that, I just paired it with Facebook, right? So just to really make sure it's more specific, that killed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like a Venn diagram.
Yep.
I don't know if we didn't show that, but that's actually important. That's what we call the overlay.
Awesome.
You see that on the screen here?
But
it's like, here's your similar audience, or your lookalike audience, whatever you want to call it, which is 2 million people. What Molly's saying is that that may do well for conversions. Am I off camera?
You're okay.
All right. That may do well. Sometimes that really does well. If we know like a buyer group is 35 to 44 male, we might send traffic directly to that lookalike audience. And it really converts well, whether it's a lead, whether it's a tripwire, probably not a buyer quite as much. But what really works out extremely well is when you do what Molly says. So you create, let's say if you're sending it to, you know, your 212 low post ideas is your lead magnet. This group right here, somebody who looks like your leads or looks like your customer list or whatever it happens to be, but also has the interest of blogging, these guys are the ones that are going to see that ad. And that's what we call a lookalike overlay, which is even better. I think that's something that we've just talked about a lot. Getting a little bit off topic with website custom audiences, but it's an audience that you can definitely target. It's laser focused. So instead of it being 2 million people here, or maybe 1 million.
I think it's okay to cover this. We've got people that are fairly new on the call too, I think. So
you might have 200,000 in that audience, and you're hitting them with something that's really relevant. It's so laser targeted. Totally ninja tactic. I mean, this has reduced. We wrote a post a while back on it. We got like the customers' leads from like $20 down to $3. We're doing this. That's all we did, and it's just really, really good stuff. So. I don't know how much time we have left.
yeah, well, we're over the hour, so I think we should wrap it up, especially with the whole technical issues and stuff like that. You know what? It's still downloading though.
One of these days.
No, it froze up my computer. I don't know. It's weird. I'm surprised this is still working, but it is. So it's all good. So this was good. I think hopefully this was helpful for all of you. Great questions that you brought to it. Bring the rest of your questions to the group. Okay, totally do that. We'll follow up on some more specific stuff on retargeting stuff after this.
You guys add me to the group too, and I can put some resources in there.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Cool. We'll do that, and then Molly can add that too. It'd be awesome. So other than that, I think we're good to go.
Let us know what you think about this format too. I mean, it's kind of rare that we all get together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Come on back up.
No, I think this was awesome.
I mean, it's pretty cool that, I mean, this is new technology for us. It's obvious, but something that's new. Sometimes you get a few chances.
Go to a webinar that lets you do video, but it doesn't, with the recording, it doesn't record the video.
Right.
So that's why I couldn't use go to a webinar, but
glad to have you guys in the office.
Cool,
Yeah.
Cool. So all right, we'll talk to y'all soon, and have a good one.
Thanks.